What if I told you that the reason people avoid making eye contact with you isn't because you're unattractive, it's because you're too attractive, and they're intimidated? Yeah, most people have no idea how attractive they actually are, because the signs of being attractive, they don't look like what you think. In fact, a lot of them seem like the opposite. Today, I'm breaking down 7 signs that you're way more attractive than you realize, and I'm warning you, sign number 7, that's the one that'll make everything click, so stick around. Sign number 1, people avoid eye contact with you. Now, you probably think this is a bad sign, right? Like they're not looking at you because you're not interested, because you're forgettable, because you blend into the background. Wrong. Here's what's actually happening. When someone is significantly more attractive than average, they trigger what psychologists call beauty intimidation. People want to look at you, but they don't want to get caught staring, so they look away quickly. You ever notice someone glance at you, then immediately look down at their phone? That's not disinterest, that's them managing their reaction to you. Because looking directly at someone very attractive creates social pressure. They feel exposed, vulnerable. So if people are avoiding your eyes, it might not be because you're invisible. It might be because you're impossible to ignore. Sign number 2, you get extreme reactions from people. Some people are incredibly nice to you, like weirdly nice. They go out of their way to help you. They laugh at your jokes a little too hard. They remember small details about you. And then other people, though, they're cold, dismissive, sometimes even hostile for no apparent reason. Here's what's happening. Attractive people create what's called polarized responses. The positive reactions, those are people who are drawn to you and want to be in your orbit. The negative reactions, those are people who feel threatened by you. See, when you're attractive, you trigger insecurity in others, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your presence reminds them of their own self-doubt. So they react defensively. They dismiss you. They find reasons to dislike you. If you're getting strong reactions from people, both positive and negative, with very little middle ground, that's not a personality problem. That's an attractiveness indicator. Sign number 3, people act nervous around you. Now, some people act nervous when they talk to you. They fidget, they stumble over their words, they laugh at things that aren't funny, they touch their hair or face, they suddenly become very interested in their drink. And you've probably thought, am I making them uncomfortable? Am I being weird? No, they're nervous because they're attracted to you. When someone finds you attractive, their brain releases adrenaline and cortisol, the same chemicals you get when you're stressed. So they literally experience physical nervousness, increased heart rate, sweaty palms, mental fog. So if people seem flustered around you, pay attention to what happens after. Do they find excuses to talk to you again? Do they remember tiny details from your conversation? Do they light up when they see you? If yes, their nervousness wasn't discomfort, it was attraction. Sign number 4, you get strange or backhanded compliments. Sign number 4, you get weird compliments. Like someone says, you're pretty, but you'd be so much prettier if you smiled more. Or, you're intimidating, but in a good way. Or, I didn't think you'd be this cool. You look like you'd be stuck up. These aren't really compliments, right? They're compliments with conditions. And here's why you get them. When people find you very attractive, it threatens their ego. So they subconsciously try to lower your status to make themselves feel better. It's called negging in dating, but it happens in all contexts. The backhanded compliment is their brain trying to reconcile 2 things, acknowledging that you're attractive while also protecting their own self-esteem. So they give you a compliment, then immediately take it back or add a criticism. If you're getting these a lot, it's not because something's wrong with you, it's because you're triggering insecurity in them.
Sign number 5, people copy you. Your style, your mannerisms, the way you talk, the phrases you use. You mention a band you like, suddenly they're listening to it. You get a haircut, they show up with something similar. You recommend a restaurant, they post about it on Instagram. This is called mirroring, and it's one of the most unconscious signs of attraction and admiration. People naturally imitate those they find attractive or impressive. It's evolutionary. We copy people we want to be like or be close to. And here's the thing, they probably don't even realize they're doing it. It's completely subconscious, but their brain is registering you as someone worth emulating, as a standard. So if you've noticed people adopting your habits, your taste, your style, that's not coincidence. That's them being drawn to your energy. And that only happens when someone registers as attractive. Sign number 6. Strangers treat you at extremes. The barista gives you your coffee for free. A stranger holds the door open and waits while you're still 20 feet away. Someone offers you their seat on the subway without you asking. Or the opposite. Customer service is weirdly cold to you. Someone accidentally bumps into you hard. People seem annoyed by your mere presence. This is the same polarization we talked about earlier, but with strangers. People who don't know you are reacting purely to your appearance, and attractive people get strong reactions. Studies show that attractive people receive both more help and more hostility from strangers. The help comes from people who want to be in your good graces. The hostility comes from people who resent the attention you naturally receive. So if your interactions with strangers feel like a roller coaster, never neutral, always extreme, that's because you're triggering emotional reactions just by existing. And sign number 7, the biggest one. You genuinely believe you're just average. Here's the thing about actually attractive people. They usually have no idea how attractive they are. Why? Because they've been looking at their own face their entire life. It's normal to them. There's a concept in psychology called the mere exposure effect. The more you see something, the more neutral it becomes. You're so used to your own face that you can't see it the way others do. It has no novelty to you. Meanwhile, genuinely unattractive people, they often think they're more attractive than they are. It's called the attractiveness bias. People with lower attractiveness tend to overestimate their looks. People with higher attractiveness tend to underestimate. So if you look in the mirror and think, I'm okay, I guess, pretty normal, while other people are giving you the signals we just talked about, that disconnect, that's the clearest sign of all. Now, before you run to the mirror, let me be clear about something. Having one or two of these signs doesn't necessarily mean you're a supermodel. But if you're experiencing most of these, if you've been nodding along thinking, wait, that happens to me, then yeah, you're probably more attractive than you think. And here's what matters more than any of this. Attractiveness isn't just about looks, it's about energy, confidence, how you carry yourself, how you make people feel. Some of the most attractive people I know aren't conventionally beautiful, but they own who they are, and that's magnetic. Look, whether you're attractive or not doesn't define your worth, but if you've been walking around thinking you're less than, while people around you are giving you all these signals, it's time to update your self-perception, because you're probably selling yourself way short. And those negative reactions you get from some people, stop internalizing them. Stop thinking, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong, you just exist, and some people can't handle that. If this video shifted how you see yourself, hit subscribe, because I make content for people who are more than they think they are. And drop a comment. How many of these 7 signs do you experience? Be honest, I want to know. Remember, the way you see yourself and the way others see you, those are 2 very different things, and you might be surprised which one is more accurate. Now, go look in that mirror with fresh eyes.